What's going on, everybody? This is Captain Obvious. You guys are the 11 crew, and here's another 10 things that I would love added to vanilla Minecraft to make it great again. Alright, the first is very simple. I wish that we could just make it night anytime we want. I mean, people do sleep during the day, and sometimes you just, I don't know, you want to fight mobs. You want it to be night. So I really wish that there was a way that we can sleep during the day and make it night, or just make it night somehow. Okay, again, this is without the use of mods. This is without the use of creative mode. I'm talking about regular vanilla survival with no additional stuff. Okay, I wish that we can make it nighttime. The second thing, and this is actually one of my favorite things out of this whole list, is that slime should be able to merge together. All right, and there's two ways. The baby slime should be able to merge back into bigger slime, right? And then big slime should be able to merge into a kind of mini boss slime, like a little bit of a bigger slime. When you kill the mini boss slime, it doesn't break apart. It's just a harder boss to fight. It actually attacks you. Maybe it spits slime at you. I don't know. But when you kill it, it leaves a lot of slime balls. Or it can actually drop slime blocks since it's actually bigger. So that would be kind of cool. It has to be a rare occurrence though, because honestly, too many slime, it would just be annoying. And for the mini boss to spawn, you would have to be around it. So if you have slime farms, it wouldn't affect it. Obviously, if it's like an AFK slime farm where you're in the area, to merge into the boss, you would have to be, let's say, within 15 blocks of it. Okay, so that wouldn't affect any kind of slime farms. But I think it'd be kind of cool. And also in slime chunks, the ceilings could maybe drip with slime. I mean, they already have it for water, or even the water in general. If you have water anywhere in slime chunks, maybe the water should be green. It doesn't have to actually be like slimy. It could just be green water, like really green. I think that would be kind of cool. And finally, with one last thing with slimes, is that while fishing in a swamp, you should have a chance at getting slime balls. I think it would be kind of cool. I mean, it makes sense. They're there, right? So there should be a small percentage that you can get slime balls. All right, so number 3, giving the end more life by having random block piles appear. So what does that mean? Well, think about it. The Endermen, when they are in the overworld, they steal blocks, or just anywhere they are, they steal blocks from you, right? So why not fill the end with these random piles of blocks? It's going to represent what the Endermen have stolen and taken back with them, right? Plus, I thought of this really cool idea too. Remember how I was talking about in one of the other videos, going to other dimensions, having other dimensions? Maybe this is how you get there, right? So maybe there are possible unique blocks from other dimensions that you have to find in these random piles, and once you assemble enough of them together, you can craft a new portal. Just like how you would do with like obsidian, you put it in a certain way, probably the same exact way. That would be a really cool way to add a new dimension into Minecraft, and also give the end more life. I don't know, it's an idea. So you would need to actually go to another dimension to get to another dimension. It's like Dimensionception. I don't know. Just something I thought about. Could be kind of cool. Number 4, poisonous potatoes. Okay, they're basically garbage right now. You really can't do anything with them. So what would be cool is you can give poisonous potatoes to witches as trades. Now this I actually saw online. This was not my idea, but it's still really, really cool. So poisonous potatoes, you trade with witches, right? So what you do is you approach a witch with one in your hand, and she won't attack you. Kind of like the same way you would put weed or seeds or whatever in your hand, and animals will approach you. She'll approach you. She won't attack you. But while you're holding it in your hand, you can actually access a special trade menu where you can trade anywhere from 2 to 4 potatoes, right, for a special potion or enchantment book of anything. It's going to be completely randomized, but any potion or any enchantment book is on the table. Okay, now the menu, like the GUI, could be like how an enchantment table works, where 2 potatoes will give you 1, 3 another, and then 4, would be your best possible bet. But it's completely randomized. And if you back out of the trade, she attacks you and won't open up the menu for you anymore. But if you do make the trade, she remains completely neutral to you and will allow for future trades that are, again, completely randomized. So she would be like a walking enchantment table. But it would be random. You would not get to see what it was. It would just be like a little question mark there. You would not get to see what it was. But each of the levels, like 2, 3, and 4 for the potatoes, each of the levels would offer you different things. So for level 2 would be like the lower enchantments and books, and potions, and books. For 3, a little bit more, and then for 4, you would get like the best stuff in the game, like your mending books and your regen potions, things like that. I think that would be kind of cool. Number 5, there are sugar cubes in the world, right? So why not have sugar blocks? Now you can craft them with 9 sugar, but the unique thing about them is that they would obey gravity, right? And if it touches water, it's going to dissolve back into 9 sugar blocks, or maybe you would lose a couple, maybe 4 or 5 sugar, right? Another unique feature of them is that animals flock around it, which makes it easier to herd them, right? So think about it. You put a sugar cube in like the middle of your farm, and just like you holding wheat, the animals will just flock around it. And, you can kind of see them licking it. Maybe it'll dissolve. I don't really know if that would be a fun thing, or just having them flock around it. Birds, whatever it is, I think that would be kind of cool. And then number 6 is with the addition of sugar cubes, we could get ant mobs, a brand new mob in the game, right? They could be Enderman sized and try to steal the sugar blocks. But here's what I would love if we ever got something. These are total just out there wishes, right? Or maybe some of you might not even like them. You might think they're kind of cheating. I just like thinking outside the box with this. But with the ants, they could pick up and transport food that's been dropped. And they could have, maybe 2 slots. Nothing crazy. But we wouldn't be able to see it like a villager. But we would just know that they would have 2 slots. But it would be turned into like a sort of transport system, right? So once you tame them, we're able to tame them with, let's say, sugar, right? Sugar block, whatever. You could tame them. And once they're tamed, you could set where their home is going to be, right? So I don't know how you would do it. You do something. You'd have to set where their like ant home is, or you can set them to like a hopper, and that would be their drop off point. So once they're tamed, they can drop off items that they find. So think about how awesome that would be. You enclose them in an area, and it would completely get rid of the whole minecart system underneath. Right, because you wouldn't have to worry about building a couple extra layers down now to have mine carts with hoppers go around picking items up. You could literally just put the ants on the bottom level of whatever you're trying to farm, and they could just pick up stuff. But it would only work for food. So you would still need mine carts for like other drops, like cactus and stuff like that, and mob drops and things like that. So it would only pick up food. But I don't know. It might be kind of cool to have that. Number 7, bats need an overhaul badly. They're so useless. I know they're there just to add like ambiance to the game, and they're just there to make caves seem a little bit more alive. Caves are boring anyway, which I already talked about. But I think bats need an overhaul, right? So I think it'd be cool if they can spawn in packs, maybe 5, 6. Nothing crazy. I don't want it to be something that's going to just create a lot of lag, but just something a little bit more than what they are. So like 5 or 6, right? Which would essentially give you a bat cave. Anyway, they could occasionally bring apples back to the cave with them, since I assume they're fruit bats, or just make them fruit bats, right? So every once in a while, you'd see a bat like holding an apple, and they drop it, of course, so wherever they spawn. And they would have, wherever they spawn would be where they return to. So that would be like their home and their cave. So even if they fly around, they would always go back. It would just be like a random occurrence. They'll just spawn back there, kind of like how dogs do it. But every once in a while, that you would see an apple appear and they would drop it. And also, this is kind of cool, a new item. It could also bring a rare green apple, which would be the only way to get them. The bats would have a use, so they would only spawn in dark areas underground. Let's say under a certain Y coordinate. So you would just leave an area dark, and they could spawn in there. You just put some hoppers on the floor, and out would shoot, every once in a while would shoot apples, and possibly green apples, and the green apples could give you luck for 2 for 3 minutes. It's an idea, new item, fun, only way to obtain them, makes bats actually useful, and they can only spawn in pitch black areas of a certain size that are underground. So, and it wouldn't matter if there was half slabs. They could just spawn like in the air, like on walls. So that way you can actually put hoppers, put like half slabs on them, and then no mobs will spawn in there other than bats. So that would be kind of cool. Number 8, this one is really fun. I've wanted this for a really, really long time. Weapons gaining lore. Now, what do I mean? Essentially, it's just a special name for a weapon after killing a mob. Like if you kill the Ender Dragon, let's say, the weapon's called the Dragon Slayer, but it auto-names itself, right? It becomes like an enchanted weapon if it's not already. I don't know why you would ever not take an enchanted weapon to kill the dragon. It would glow a different color, maybe purple or red, right? And it would give you a special weapons buff. So like maybe +3 sharpness, but that buff would stack with enchantments that are already there. So if you already have a sharpness enchantment, this is going to be an extra buff that's attached to the weapon, right? That'd be kind of cool. And same for the Wither. So you'd get like Wither Slayer, and you get something from that. But also, it would be cool if like killing a certain amount of the same mob would also grant you lore. But you can only get 1 lore per weapon. So let's say you kill 100 spiders with that weapon, right? That weapon is now, it has a buff for that kind of mob. So it would say like +3 spider killing or something like that. But again, it would glow red or purple or whatever color that they would choose. But it would grant lore. The weapon would be called whatever that weapon is, and you could not change the name, right? So, and if it's already a weapon that's named, it would just add the buff, the title to it. So let's say you have like, I don't know, the Jackhammer. I don't know why you'd call it that, but then it would be like the Wither Slayer Jackhammer or something like that. But then once it's called that, you cannot name it at all. Or at least you can't change the name of the first part of it. Maybe you can change the after part, but you can't change the first part, like the Wither Slayer or Dragon Slayer. That part would always stay. Be kind of cool. Just something fun, but I've always wanted it. I always thought, another reason to go and kill the dragon and Wither. On number 9, we should have a charged block with an indication as how charged it is. So why would we need this? It could be useful in farms. It could be useful for things that you need temporary power for, right? So think of like a redstone block, but that's not permanent power. So the way you obtain it is by putting iron bars on the top of redstone blocks above the Y150 coordinate, right? So you just got to put a single iron bar on top of a single redstone block, or you can have a bunch of them, and then whenever there's thunders and lightnings, I should say, it charges it up. Now there's going to be 4 states, so it would need to be struck 4 times. But the whole thing is when you put the iron bar on the top in an area that has lightning, it should automatically get attracted to it, or it should have a 50-50 chance of getting attracted to it, and then it would charge the block in 4 states. After the 4th state, it wouldn't take any more charge. Okay, so then what you do is you just put it in your inventory, and then besides indication, you can turn it on or off, right? So it would have to have like a little switch on it. You just turn it on or off, or you could just go inside of the block, like access a menu inside and turn it on or off. But each indication light would have 1 day of power in Minecraft. 1 full day-night cycle. So what is that, 20 minutes of power? Again, could be kind of cool. Could be, instead of having clocks, it could be a way of doing that. Now, granted, people could just say, well, why don't we just use daylight sensors? Again, this would be for a specific thing. Just another useful tool in the Redstoner's belt where you just need something for a specific amount of time. And again, with the 4 indications, you'd be able to control it. Do I need it just for 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever? Could be kind of cool. And then number 10 is volcanoes. I've always wanted them in the game. They would only form on islands surrounded by water, okay, but they're going to be completely filled with lava and magma blocks. Maybe some obsidian sprinkled around the bottom inside, right? They would be a great overworld source of lava and just add something visually to the world, something else visually to the world. There should be some coal blocks like sprinkled around the base of the volcano. Would be kind of cool. Plus, remember, if you guys remember, I think it was the first episode of this where I said that there should be new golems, right? This could house a new golem. So it would be the fire golem, and it would be completely hostile towards the player. So it would be like another mini boss to fight. And the golems would either drop magma blocks, coal blocks, or obsidian, and they would randomly spawn around the volcano and keep randomly spawning around the volcano, which would give us a possible farm idea if there was some way of figuring out how they spawned. You know how Minecrafters are. We could turn it into a farm. Just another fun thing. Again, people may not like it because then you can get obsidian and magma blocks and things like that, or coal blocks, and that might be kind of cheating. But, I mean, that's what farms are in general. Any farm that you make is kind of cheating. You're not doing it naturally. You're just farming them and walking, especially automatic ones. So, anybody who says that, it's cheating. If you look in your world and you have any kind of auto farm, that's the same thing. So, But again, these are all fun ideas. This is just to have fun and spice up Minecraft, you know, but the vanilla version of it. And then I'm going to give you guys a bonus 3 ideas because it's just something quick to mention that doesn't really have much to it. But if you guys remember, I had talked about the Nether kind of being spruced up a little bit. What about ruins? Ruins of Nether portals found all around the Nether. That'd be kind of cool. Not all around, but, you know, just every once in a while you'd see some ruins, which would just be like obsidian portals. So, again, giving you more chance for obsidian. Number 2 would be lapis actually staying in the enchanting table. It's so frustrating that it just pops itself out. I hate it. So that would be really cool. Just keep it inside the enchanting. Unless they change that. I haven't really been in an enchanting table for a while. So if that's changed, I apologize. And if it's in there, cool. And we already got it, and yay to us. And number 3, using a silk touch on signs that keeps the actual words on. Now, this may not seem like a big deal for some people, but for me, who constantly changes his mind with builds, and I like to have things centered, it would just come in handy. Just save you, you know, a few extra steps. Nothing major, just the thought. I mean, silk touch, it makes sense. For everything else, it stays. So, silk touch on signs, you should be able to keep the words on. Just an idea. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, please leave your suggestions in the comments. And let me know what you thought of the ones I already put in there. Good, bad, whatever. Captain Obvious out. Peace.